Welcome everyone to this session. We'll find a comfortable place to initiate our practice. So you can lean back into the seat where you feel your arms can rest onto your thighs or your pelvis. I'll invite you to take 3, maybe 4 deep breaths. Follow the inhalation all the way into the belly, and follow the exhalation all the way out into space. So taking a few moments to acknowledge yourself in this few minutes. Perhaps this is your time out from your activities today. So begin by having a good feel of your physical body, being aware of the space right above the crown, the head. And continuing your internal gaze, moving through the back of the head, into the forehead, and sensing the face features. And begin to soften with your internal attention the corner of the eyes, the back of the eyes, the cheeks, your inner cheeks, the base of the tongue, the roof of the mouth, the jaw, the throat, the space at the collarbones, your shoulders. And continue softening through your whole arms, your elbows, your wrists, your palms. And then moving in through your inner arms, moving up into the chest, softening the rib cage, the heart space, the upper belly and the lower belly. Letting the breath soften the area of the pelvis, the glute muscles, your thighs, knees, lower legs, ankles and feet. And perhaps you're able to touch the ground with your feet. And feeling the support for the feet, the support of the chair where your body is resting. And give yourself permission for this few moments to be in your body. Let your mind rest in the attention of your breath. So now that we feel a bit more connected and centered in ourselves, we'll come now over to more the edge of the seat. I find I can sit more upright, more on the edge. So I can plant both feet into the earth from the heel to the ball and the base of the feet. You can rest your hands on your thighs and placing your shoulders right over your hips, placing the ears right over your shoulders. And have an internal awareness of your spine. Through the inhalation, see if you can find a little bit more length through the spinal column. And use your exhalation to settle into your support for the sitting bones and your feet. See if you can keep your heels right underneath your knees so there's not deep flexion on the knees. So let's begin with a few breathing exercises. Follow for a moment the length of your breath and let your exhalation be slightly longer than your inhalation. Perhaps 3 or 4 slow breaths. Enjoy filling up your lungs from the bottom evenly all the way to the top. And as you release the breath, feel that belly softening, the ribs and your chest relaxing. So give your mind the full attention of your breath. I will practice here samavriti, equal inhalation to the exhalation. So once you're ready, follow the inhalation all the way in, find a gentle pause at the top. And then exhale slow and complete, finding again a pause at the bottom of the exhalation. Inhaling on 1, 2, 3, pause. Exhale on 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale on 1, 2, 3, pause. Exhale on 1, on 2, on 3, pause. Inhale on 1, on 2, on 3, pause. Exhale on 1, on 2, on 3, and pause. Last one. Breathing in, pausing, and breathing out, pausing. And then let go of the control of your breath. Let your breath again become natural and spontaneous. And let's begin with now more body movements. So if you need to readjust your posture, make sure that you're sitting onto the sitting bones. Now let's raise the hands to elbow level. We're going to make a fist with the hands, and we're going to begin to do some flexion and extension of the wrist. So we curl the hands in to extension, and then we flex the wrist, opening the lower part of the wrist. So just 2 or 3 times, flexion and extension. Very, very gentle. And then when you're ready, we're going to integrate the fingers, so the fingers spread out on flexion and then curl in on extension of the wrist. Good, so just a few times. Good. So just stretching inner wrist. Good. And resting the palms down. Now we're going to bring the hands out to the side with the palms facing to the front, and then flex the elbows, fingertips to the shoulders. Turn the palms facing forward, and then release the arms down. Turn again the palms to the front, flex elbows, fingertips to shoulders. Turn the palms forward, and release the palms down. And just one more time, turn the palms forward, fingertips to shoulders, turning palms forward, and releasing. Now we reverse the movement with the palms facing back. Lift the fingertips to the shoulders, turn the palms facing back again, and then release the arms. Turn the palms back, flex the elbows, turn palms, release arms. Last one, turn the palms back, flex the elbows, turn palms back, and release. Good. Bring your palms to your thighs, and we're going to bring our right arm out. So you're reaching forward. Now you're going to lift the shoulder up into the ear, roll the shoulder back, and then press the shoulder blade down towards the spine. And then reach your arm forward. Bring the shoulder into the ear and roll the shoulder blade back and down. So just do that 2 more times. Rolling from the shoulder blade, the area of the upper back. And then we're going to reverse the movement. So from the back, when you're ready, go shoulder blade back, bring it up to the ear, and then reach forward. Press the shoulder down, back, and up. So you can visualize if it's like the wheels of a train, sort of marching together. And then when you're ready, releasing the arm down, and let's do the other side. So you reach your other arm forward, lift the shoulder up to the ear, press the shoulder back, down, and forward. Up, back, down, and forward. Continue moving that area of your shoulder. And then after that last one, we're going to do the same movement for the opposite direction. So you roll the shoulder blade back, up, and forward. Down, back, up, and forward. And there's no right, wrong to this. So whatever feels right, and the more you do these movements, the more refining you can find into them. Good, so relaxing the arms gently down. Now we're going to bring the arm to the side, palm facing into the hip. I'm going to sweep the arm back. Now as it goes back, I'm going to rotate the palm facing up, rotating right from the shoulder, and as I lift up, I'm going to get long through the side body, and then swirl the arm again forward with the palm facing in towards the hip. So as if I'm painting inside of a big barrel. Now I spin the arm back and up, getting long through the side. And then bring the arm back in. And just one more time, like brush strokes with the arm or swimming with the arm. And then we're going to change the direction. So once your arm returns, continue with the arm facing forward. And then turn the palm up, turning it back. So just painting internal sphere of a barrel with the arm. And this can really get into the area of the shoulder if it's tight for you today. Then we're going to change sides, so you can rest that arm and do the opposite side. So you hand on the side of the hip, and as you bring it back, spiraling the arm, palm up, and then bring it all the way forward, just swimming with the arm. And if you notice any clicking, do the movement even slower or smaller. So a smaller circle, exploring different movements. Now we go into the opposite direction. And I'm going deliberately slow so I can actually notice any apprehension of my body, so I can explore where is my range of motion pain-free. So very easeful and comfortable movements. So think of sort of sense of lubrication and elasticity in your body. So if you don't use it, we lose it. So we want to continue exploring all these ranges of motion within comfort for the body and the nervous system. Okay, so rest the hands back here. And just take a pause, take a breath. Good. So now we're going to bring the arms out. Palms face forward. So I'm opening the chest forward. This is extension of the back. I'm going to bring the palms in towards the center. With the palms together, I'm going to point the fingers forward and round the back, curling the head in. So I'm rounding the spine. Again, return the heels of the palms towards your chest. Spread your arms out. Open the chest forward. Extension of the back. Then palms into the center of the chest. With the palms together, reach your fingertips forward, round the spine, let the head curl in. Maybe 2 or 3 times. Most of us tend to have quite a bit of rigidity in the upper back. So this might feel very, very fluid, quite a mode of mobilization for your back. And you notice this movement can be achieved by the tilting of your pelvis. So here I'm tilting the pelvis forward. And as I round my spine, the tailbone tucks under, so I can tilt my pelvis back. Good, so just finishing here. One last breath there. And I'm going to bring my palms in the center, crossing the forearms. You can do it here, or you can do it hands on the thighs. So I'm going to do some neck mobilization here. So I'm going to turn my head very gently to the side, and then over to the other side. Very slowly. The neck is very, very delicate. And it can be a vulnerable space, so we want to be very friendly here at the neck. And then once you finish, let's come back to center and then gaze up, opening the throat very softly, and then releasing the head gently forward and down. So there's nodding of the head, as if you would be drawing a vertical line with the tip of your nose. It's a very gentle neck release. Good, so just last one there, make it comfortable for your neck. And then from here we're going to reach the arms out to the side. I'm going to turn right palm up, left palm down. I'm going to reach with the palm that is facing up. I'm going to reach out, and the other arm is curling the shoulder in. Then I come back to center and turn sides. My hand turns down, opposite hand turns up. Then I reach out and the other shoulder rolls in. And you can do this in a very continuous movement. So if you notice here, I'm simply moving my torso side to side, and it's integrating some movement through my arms and my shoulders. And then once you come to the original initial side, I'm going to sweep the arm that is at the back, sweep it overhead, and the lower hand is going to grab a hold of the wrist and give it a light, gentle tuck, little pull. Make sure your feet feel very grounded and your tailbone also very rooted. And then come slowly back up to the center. And let's do the other side. So you reach over to the other side, get long through your torso. The back hand sweeps overhead, and then I grab a hold of my wrist with the opposite hand, give it a light little pull. And just try to relax your feet and sitting bones to the chair, feet to the earth. And then slowly coming back up and releasing your palms back to the thighs. Comfortable breath and smooth exhale. We're going to do a very gentle rocking of the pelvis, or rocking back and rocking forward. And this is giving you, it's always nice to receive information from the whole body, what is actually comfortable. So here you will notice if your standard posture is of collapsing the back, you might feel that it's nice to go into extension. Or if you do tend to have compression of the back, then you might feel it's more pleasurable for you to go on the opposite side. So it's all about bringing us back to a sense of balance. So once you're rocking on your sitting bones, when you're ready, just come back to the sitting bones, so in your center. We're going to do some mobilization into the torso. So I'm going to lean my torso over to the side, and I'm going to roll it back, and my pelvis is tilting back. Roll it over to the other side, and then forward to a forward tilt. Maybe 2 or 3 circles. So I'm just touching the tailbone, as if you're going from the sitting bones, pubic bone, and the opposite sitting bone. So like a compass, you're going around the compass. And then once you finish, you're going to go in the opposite direction. You might like to think of this as a massage to your organs. Some of us tend to find a nice sort of mobilization through the muscles into the side body. Good. So just when you finish, come back to find the base of your spine and the head over the pelvic floor. Just a few deep breaths there. I'm going to do some forward bending to release the spine. So I'm going to find an inhalation to tilt the pelvis a little bit forward, and then curl back on the exhale. Going to rock forward again on the inhalation. Open the chest forward, and as you exhale, this time you're going to continue moving forward, letting the pelvis tilt forward, and you're going to walk your hands maybe just there onto your thighs and release the head all the way in, just to where you go comfortably. And then as you inhale, press out through your palms, and then slowly walk your way back up. Nice and slowly. We're going to do a few of those ones again. So we're going to stretch one leg out, toe pointing up. One hand on the flexed knee, on the thigh. Take an inhale again. And exhale, folding forward. Now release the head just to where you go comfortably. And on the inhale, press with your palms into the thighs so that the foot pushes down and you walk your way back up. Good. So from here, we're going to bring that leg that is straight, we're going to bring it in, interlace the hands underneath the thigh. And I'm going to let my foot be like a pendulum, and I'm going to circle very gently. So I'm circling the knee, not the ankle. So my foot is like that pendulum at the end of a string, which is my lower leg. And I turn to the opposite side. Good, and then release the foot back down. We're going to stretch now the other leg out, hands on top of the opposite thigh. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to tilt forward, walking the hands, releasing the head. Good, just take a comfortable breath. Once you're ready through the inhale, slowly press up. Press with your hands, press with your foot and ankle to walk all the way up. And I'm going to slide now the opposite leg, interlacing hands under the thigh, and then creating that pendulum with the foot. Just gentle lubrication there to the knee joint, circling, circling a few times. Resting the foot back on the ground, forward bending with both feet landed. So breathing in, lengthening, and exhaling, walking forward. You might like to try walking your hands all the way down to your ankles, so your feet release the head all the way in. Big breath into your belly. Good, and as you inhale, begin to walk your way slowly up, all the way. Finding your sitting position. And we stretch the first leg out, and we're going to point and flex the foot. Pointing, flexing a few times. And then circling the ankle. And opposite side. And then resting the foot down, other foot stretches out, and we point and flex the foot. Good. So we don't tend to sometimes stretch a lot of the top of the foot, and there's a lot of nerve endings there. So give yourself that opportunity to feel into that space in your body. And then circle gently your ankle into the opposite direction. Good, both feet landed. One last forward bend here, so breathing in and exhaling, walking forward. Again, you can leave your hands on your thighs. You can bow in all the way. See where you land, comfortable breath. And then begin to slowly walk up. Use your hands for support. Let your head be heavy. And then roll all the way up to sitting. I'm going to bring one hand to the back and the opposite hand to the opposite thigh. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale, turn over to the side. So we're going to look over the back shoulder. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed a bit back and down through your shoulder blades. And 2 or 3 nice comfortable breaths into the belly. And on your next breath, gently release. And let's twist to the other side. So you bring your opposite hand to the back and your other hand to the other thigh. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, overlook the back shoulder. Again, try to relax the shoulder blades back and down. And let that steady, continuous breath soften the belly. Good, so then very gently coming back to center. And we're going to move to the side of the chair. So I'm going to leave my right sitting bow on the chair. Make sure your foot is landed and your opposite leg stretched out to the side. So this is a side stretch. So just want to make sure that your hip joint or hip socket or sitting bone are straight in line with your frontal knee, so you're not sided. So we're going to have from the side the leg is extended. I'm going to just tighten a little bit of that thigh so it feels firm. Right arm reaches out. Inhale, reach your arm overhead. And as you exhale, it goes sideways. So see if you can keep that right sitting bone that is on the chair firmly resting on the chair. And then press nicely into the feet. Think more of reaching through that top fingertips or arm from the waistline all the way up. And on your next inhale, slowly come up and release. Good. So we're going to come over to the side. Before we do the other side, I'm going to turn the same leg that was on the chair. I'm just going to turn it to the side, and I'm going to reach the leg that was back, reach it back. So I can keeping my right sitting bone on the chair, my left sitting bone is out of the chair. Good. So I can find first, try to relax your tailbone so you're not pushing your abdominals or rib cage forward. So have a sense of containing, and your tailbone release so there's no compression on your back. Good. So from the side that your leg is facing back, so away from the chair, going to reach that arm to the sky, then bend the elbow and rest the palm the base of the neck or between the shoulder blades. Now your opposite hand that is facing the seat, you can bring it over to the elbow and try to center it as much as you can. And just try to relax your eyes. The tip of the nose can be your place of awareness. Let's take maybe 2 or 3 complete breaths. Just keep relaxing the tailbone. Try not to tilt the pelvis forward so you don't go into compression of your back. See if you can get nice and long from the front thigh, the side body, and all the way to the elbow, the side arm. Okay, so on to the next breath. We're going to very gently release the arms. And we're going to go for the side stretch on the other side. So come over to the other side. And we rest now the left sitting bone on the chair. So hip socket in line with knee and ankle, and my other leg out to the side. I'm really trying to push into the outer blade of my foot, thigh and glute muscle firm to hold my joints. So the opposite arm goes overhead, breathing in, and as I exhale, coming sideways. So I want to keep that support planted through my sitting bones and feet, and then reach out through the arm and the fingertips. Increase the flow of your breath into your side body. Nice. So on the next inhale, coming up and releasing. So now let's go to what is the warrior one position. So I'm going to keep the sitting bone on the chair and the front leg horse stretch back. You can start resting your pelvis, finding your seat. You can find hands on belly, hands on hips, hands into center, your choice, what feels right. Then once you feel that you're settled, you feel connected to the front line of your body, the front hip and thigh, you can reach the front arm overhead, bend your elbow and place the palm onto the back. And your opposite hand can organize that top elbow. Now, be aware if there is a desire to project your chest and rib cage forward. And just try to curl yourself a little bit in, hug your lower ribs, hug the navel. Try to relax your tailbone. Good. So just one last complete breath now. And then nice and slowly releasing. And we come back to sit on the chair, onto the sitting bones and the feet hip width distance. We'll finish with a hip opening place here. So we're going to bring the right ankle over the left thigh. So I'm releasing the knee away from my shoulder and I'm flexing my foot. So there is some support for the knee as well. Now the lower foot, make sure that your heel is right underneath the knee that is receiving the weight of your ankle. So I'm going to take an inhalation to lift the heart, the chest, open the heart, and exhale, bowing forward. And you can be here, that might be right enough. So we're aiming to stretch the side muscles in the hip. You just want to have enough space on the abdomen for some comfortable belly breathing. So again, you can soften your eyes and tune internally when with the mind's touch, following the journey of your breath. Fill up the belly and your chest as you breathe in, and try to mentally soften as you exhale and let go of any tension through the area of the hips. Now on your following inhale, push into the lower foot, and as you inhale, come up. In the top leg, we're going to cross the leg over the lower leg. You might need to bring the lower foot more in the middle so that you can cross the inner thighs. And the top foot is next to the calf muscle, so there's a sense of hugging your legs together and the wrapping of the muscles of the hip. So from the same front leg, I'm going to bring that hand to the back. Top hand can come to the outer thigh. You can use the back of your hand if you wish to. Take an inhalation to first lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, twist, gazing over to the back shoulder. Just soften your eyes. Just try to relax the cheeks and the jaw, focusing on this sense of hugging through your legs. And just try to relax the shoulder blades. And on your next inhale, gaze to the front and release. Let's do the other side for the hip. So now we have the other ankle over the thigh. And I'm just releasing the knee away from my shoulder. And the top foot flexed, back foot underneath the knee for support. Inhale to lengthen, and as I exhale, I'm going to bow forward, finding just the right place. And you might feel again that desire to round your back and curl in. I'll invite you to feel a sense of opening through the chest. So you're not stretching the back in spite of your front, so it's taking that pressure. So aiming more to have some support from the lower foot and the breath moving into the area of the hips. So just breathing softly through the belly. You got plenty of space for your belly to breathe, to massage the organs. So when we're sitting for long periods of time, especially the hips and the legs, there's stagnation and circulation and oxygenation. Nice. So when you're ready, just press down through your lower foot and through your hands to slowly come up. And then let's finish with the twist and the hugging muscles of the hips. So we cross the top leg on the lower leg, and you can walk the bottom foot to the center. So just nice hugging in. Some of you might even be able to really wrap your top foot onto the back calf muscle. Be explorative. So front, top hand goes to the back, and the other hand to the outer leg or thigh. You take an inhale to lengthen, and as you exhale, just slowly turn. Gotta just keep yourself in the tension of your breathing. Just how long can your inhalation be to fill up your lungs comfortably? And how long can your exhalation be for you to empty them completely? Okay, so just one last cycle into your breath. And then nice and gently come back to your center, bringing the foot back to the ground, and then rest back to the chair. If you want to find more support now into the seat, relax your hands onto the thighs, and we're going to give a little squeeze to the toes, squeeze the toes and soften. Squeeze the buttocks muscles and soften. Squeeze the shoulders into your ears and release. Make a fist, turn the fist sideways, reach your fingers out and release. Make a frown face, squeeze to the center of your nose and release. And if you can, open your eyes, your mouth, and stretch out your tongue. And release. And you can just release one ear to one side. Come back to center, release the opposite ear to the other side. And just come back to center. Take a nice cleansing breath, being aware of your whole body, completely supported by the chair. So now we're in a position where we might feel a bit slumped, but we're just giving a moment for our body to soften completely and that it feels supported. So begin by dropping your attention to the surface of the crown, right at the top of your head. And just mentally scanning through the forehead and the back of the head, back of the eyes, the cheeks, base of the tongue and the roof of your mouth. Softening the jaw, throat, collarbones, shoulders, arms, fingertips, and up into the chest. Give yourself permission to soften into the heart space, the lungs, the upper belly, your lower belly, the pelvis, the legs, the knees, ankles, feet. Whole body soft, body relaxing, body relaxed. And as you feel your body completely soft, notice the awareness in your mind. Perhaps just observing the in and out journey of your breath now. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.